Greeting to you. Is there anyone out there? Member question. Yeah, I have a question. No, we're not going to have any nuclear events going forward. But I had heard that if we did, if somebody wasn't in the past had been hit by a nuclear device, could their whole soul would be disintegrated. They would no longer exist. I was just curious if that was true. OWS answer: that is a very difficult thing to understand here. You must understand that there is a great deal more to the idea of a nuclear explosion than what has been given. And that is why it has been completely curtailed by those of the ones who watch over the earth here. Those of the Pleiadians and other civilizations that are here to make sure that this never ever occurs, because it reverberates at an atomic level into the universe itself. You see, so it cannot be allowed. It has happened in the previous times long ago, and in other places, other planets, other systems, and it is not going to be allowed anymore here. As to your direct question about the soul, you do not need to worry about the soul being disintegrated. That cannot happen, for the soul is the record of who you are over the many countless lifetimes you have had, both here in the earth and in other systems elsewhere. So do not be concerned about this. But again, it is not going to be allowed to happen. Now it could happen that there would be what you are calling a scare event here, and that could be which would incite another level of protection here that would begin to come into the picture here, that though we cannot say any more here. Okay. Thank you. Owls. Other questions? Anything further? Member question. Yes, I have a question. I'm just definitely working off the last question a little bit, or your answer more importantly. Is there a single soul reaching across all dimensions of us, or because we were going through the creation reading it said the soul had come into existence at a point in time, whatever? Part of the reading, but it was specifically for Earth, right? So my question is, is it just one single soul across all dimensions, planets, etc., or is there some sort of bifurcation of the soul? So like when a soul sends us out, comes to Earth, and we come to Earth to volunteer, and let's just say we had many, even hundreds or thousands of lifetimes. Is that a separate soul record, or how does that work? Owl's answer. We will tell you that we need to differentiate here between the soul and spirit. Spirit came first. Spirit. Before there was any record of life, any record of consciousness beyond the current consciousness at that point. There was no soul, you see, but is the record that began from spirit and continued on throughout the many lifetimes, again, countless lifetimes that you have had, and always expanding the soul record, which also then expands the spirit as well. The spirit, or the essence that you are. The essence that you are began as one and became the many. Does this answer your question? Member continues, sort of. So the soul, but there's the soul record continuous from that very starting point, which it was started to be recorded. I would imagine that it was not Earth, but some other ancient system, which is called Lyra maybe. And whenever that is recorded, so that just one continuous sort of expansion and recording of that soul. Owl's answer, yes it is. But you could look at it as the soul record in the various places that you have been in a sense divided. That is the only way. We can say this here, where the Earth's soul record is divided somewhat from another system that you have been from, and from another system, but all are on all is part of the overall record of the soul. Member continues. Got it. But that was sort of my question. You just answered it, which was, does birth kind of have its own soul record? And other systems have their sort of own soul record, but they all roll up to one. OWS answer, that is correct. Yes. Member continues, perfect. Thank you so much. OWS comments. Very good question. Very deep question. Yes. Would there be any other questions? Remember question. I have a question along those same lines. I was thinking to the angelic, the original creation. Do they have souls, and do they ever incarnate? Did they ever incarnate on this planet? 𝐿's answer: you're talking about the angelic realm. Yes, very much so. Just as the human evolution is the angelic evolution and Davy's evolution, and so on and so on. So all have a soul record, and there are times when the spirit in the angelic realm can become human or vice versa. Member continues, can angels procreate? 𝐿's continues, not in the way that you know of here as human beings, but yes, they can. Thank you. Any further questions? Then we are ready to release the channel, and we thank you for your time. We just say to as many have been saying over and over and over, keep moving on. Do not let yourself become stagnant. Knowing though there are times when the energies are very difficult for you, and we know this. But keep moving. Keep being in the moment again, moment after moment, and find the joy in those moments as much as you possibly can. And you will find that when you find the joy in the moment, whatever moods you might have had that were disconsolate at the time will be heightened greatly at that point. Shanti, peace be with you. Be the one who serves, and Shosana. One thing leading to another, one who serves here. Shosana is here with us, and we are ready to continue on with this training program. And with that, we will ask for your questions if you have them. And we know that there are certain questions coming here. We are preparing for this. Yes, member question. I'm going to ask this question about yesterday's situation with President Trump. You say it's not important that we know. We know it's part of the plan. None of us are in fear. We are just a little bit curious to know if this was an MK Ultra assassination attempt by the deep state, or if it was maybe planned and maybe helped along by the white hats. Could you give us some clarity, please? 𝐿's answer. We will say it is a combination of both here. Both sides competing against each other, tit for tat, if you will. One side makes a move, the other side counters that move as in your chess game. And that is what is happening here. And it's going to continue to happen for a little bit of time yet moving forward. Know that everything again, as Saint Germain has said, as we have been saying for quite some time now, everything is happening exactly as it needs to as you continue to move forward and get closer to your own ascension here. So whether it was real, whether it was not real, it's not important here. Know that these events coming forward here, moving forward, are going to be increasing in various ways, and understandings are going to move forward that were not there before in terms of the awakening public. And that's what this is all about, is awakening more and more people to what has been happening for quite some time and what is in the process of change. And this is all about change, all about bringing change to the world. And as people, this event as it happened yesterday, it is starting to bring up questions. And those questions will lead to more questions. And when the questions are asked, those of the sleeping public will become awakened more and more, because as they ask the questions, just as those of you asked the questions before, they will also begin to ask the questions. And more, this is going to happen. So it is one thing leading to another, and you will see how it all plays out. And again, as we always say, we would not want to spoil the surprise as we come forward more and more. That is all we can say on this at this point. Perhaps Shosana has a little bit more, she can give different viewpoints. Shosana shares, we can share. May we share, dear sister? Absolutely, dear sister. With an event such as this, which is powerful on the psyche of the human being that is affected by this. When an event such as this happens, the being wishes immediately to know the truth, to get all the details, and to know specifically what has occurred, and this will not happen. You see, it is unfolding, and as one who serves has given, it's a little here, a little there, it moves forward. You will get more information. One thing leads to the next thing. And we know this is not the answer that you are asking for. But what we will tell you is that each of you that witnessed this has an opinion, has gathered their facts based on what their knowledge base is. And nobody is wrong here. There is no wrong answer, and there is no right answer. There is just information that has been gathered by each being to determine what is the truth for them. And that is what occurs in all situations in life. That your truth is as important as the next person's truth. And that you must continue to gather facts and information. And what you believe now may change based on more information, and it will come to you. There will be revealing after revealing after revealing. There's great uncertainty around what really has happened here. You see, Namaste. Member continues, quickly, can I ask, will we ever know if it was the real Trump or a double Trump? Will that truth ever come out? Shoshana answers, we will share. Yes. We wish to have one more idea here, one more perspective if we may. We believe that it is all predicated upon eyes to see, ears to hear, and the heart that you have to understand. So, as each thing is revealed, one may still argue with another that that is not true. You see, but you must trust your eyes, trust your ears, and trust your heart. OWS comments. Very good. Would there be other questions here? Member question. Yes, I have a question. Was looking at the video of the assassination attempt and the gentleman who wears the fedora hat who has been in the background of the news for a number of years now saying that that's JFK Jr. who's still alive, and I noticed as he was being shot. And then they zoomed back to the audience in the back there. He is with his same fedora hat, looks just like JFK Jr. And he's always there in the same spot, and he was there again. And I don't know if you probably won't be able to say whether it is or not, but I just thought I'd throw that in there and just ask for your comments. Owl's answer. We are going to answer the way you probably expect us to answer because there is no other way to answer this. We cannot spoil the surprise on this. There is much that is coming forward. Much that is going to shock the world as well as even shock those of you. Not maybe quite so much, but it will be quite revealing. So the reveal is coming, and those questions that you ask, such as this, will be answered in a relatively short period of time as we find it mean from moving forward. So Shoshana, do you wish to answer here? Shoshana shares. We will share here, dear brother, if we may. Yes, please. Dear brother, we would literally love to answer this. We would love to give the truth here. But as one who serves has given, we have a directive that we cannot directly give this answer to you. So you must trust your eyes, trust your ears, and trust your heart in each moment. In each moment you see, as you will know the truth as it is revealed to you. Namaste, dear brother member continues. I knew that you wouldn't be able to answer it, but I had to put it out there because I saw him in the crowd and it kind of blew my mind. But do you mind if I ask just one more question? I can always wait until later. The what? Okay. Yeah. Okay. The United States of America, are we going to be attacked? We're already being invaded. Are we going to be attacked? Are the local civilization going to be attacked by possibly the people who are invading our country? What to call them? The illegal alien? Yes, exactly. Are we going to be attacked at all? Should we go out and buy a gun? OWS answers. We will tell you that there are plans. There are plans for those of the Dark Hats, and there are counter plans by those of the White Hats Alliance. So whether there is going to be a full-scale attack in this country, that is not going to happen. But there may be, we might look at it as skirmishes or false flag events as you call them. This certainly happens. But to know that even if these do happen, they are going to be counted by those of the White Hat Alliance. Know that we said some time ago here, as we find that there even a year or more ago we gave this understanding. 6 words, the White Hats are in control. Know that we said this quite some time ago, and it is certainly proving out to be so as we move forward. So do not allow fear to come over you. Even though your brothers and sisters who are not quite awakened as you are yet, they may be showing fear. They may be angry and all of these things. But do everything that you can to hold yourself in a higher vibrational frequency and consciousness so that you do not spread fear or spread hatred and all of these things. Do not become a part of that. Be who you are in every moment moving forward, and this will become more and more important as events play out here. Shosana, do you have something to add? Shosana shares, "Dear Jedi, we believe you have fully answered, but we wish to share a perspective." Dear brother, we share. Yes, please. Dear brother, we would tell you to practice being a Jedi. That is what we would tell you. So then there would be no issue. Yes, but the Force can be with you, right? And the Force, of course, Force is God. So one of the things that attracted light workers so much to the Star Wars movies is that the Force and the Jedi learn to be one with God, to be one with the Force. And as long as you practice that, the field that you will surround yourself with, as well as your community, as well as your neighbors, it cannot be penetrated. So we just say practice being the Jedi that you already are. Namaste. Member continues. Great. Thank you. So in other words, when I said, well, do we need to go out and buy a gun? I mean, I've always resisted that because I create my own reality. And why would I attract and ever need a gun that's part of the Jedi training you're talking about? Is that correct? Yes. Yes, I knew it. Thank you very much. Cheers. Member question. Yes, I have a question. And this is probably the obvious answer. But it's come to, as all these revealings are happening, essentially what I've learned is all human history is lie and basically fake as part of the White Hat plan. I'm assuming this is a little further down the line after the truth is revealed, at least about what's currently going on and has been going on for a modern-day civilization. At what point, or is there a point where all human history will be reconstructed accurately and given to the public? OWS answers yes. In terms of what you are hearing about more and more, your EBS, electronic broadcast system, what is the other word? Alert system. And that is going to reveal a great deal to those who up to this point have not had the eyes to see and the ears to hear. So it will awaken many more moving forward, and also know that the truth shall set you free. This was said long ago, but in your biblical journals and all of these things, that the truth would be revealed would set you free in terms of bringing about very good independence, your freedom once again. And this is coming forward and will be so. And know that there is no thing at this point that can stop this. It is a guarantee. We will say here that the new golden age of Gaia will become a reality. It cannot be stopped. Shosana, anything you add here? Shosana shares. We will add. May we add a perspective here, dear brother? Of course you can, dear sister. Dear brother, much has been reconstructed. Much of the truth of your history has already been written. It is available to you. It has been written in books. Much of it has been told to the public that it is fiction. But it is not. You see, if you seek to know the truth, you may find it. That is how it works. Now, what we believe that you truly meant is that the reconstruction of your history would go mainstream, that it would be revealed to us, and that will take some time. And there are actually movements toward what you would call re-education, but in a good thing where people will slowly but surely be told the truth in small pieces so that they would not be shocked, so that chaos would not ensue. And this will take some time, you see, but each person, including your youngest, will have the option to see and hear all that is true. You see, it will just take some time to move this forward in your social structure. Does that make sense, dear brother? Member comments. Absolutely. That was actually my assumption to some extent. I just wanted to know, are we going to put the right history books out there? And I just see it pivoting after our education system pivots and gets back in line with truth. Shosana continues. Yes, and it will be a process. So, be prepared to observe the process and be patient. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. OWS comments. Very good. Are there any further questions before we release channel then? Shosana, do you have a parting message? Shosana's message. It is getting exciting. Is getting close. Namaste. Owl's comments. Yes. And we would just say keep on keeping on because as Shosana is saying is becoming exciting. And know that even the events of yesterday in a sense was somewhat exciting to many of you because you knew that there was nothing to fear there. As many began to fear and their anger showed in all of these things, know that for you, those of you on this call, those of you that resonated these words after, you did not have that fear or that anger. It was just simply something that needed to occur. Shanti, peace be with you. Be the one.